So I wanted to walk you through the resources that we have for your career assignment, and you'll see in your underneath your career exploration PDF, you'll see this link to NWC Career Planning Info. If you click on that link, it'll take you to the Northwest College webpage, and you can go to Career Research, and that'll take you to this area right here. You're going to use two sources. You're going to use this Occupational Outlook Handbook, and you're going to use the ONET resource as well. So if I click on this Occupational Outlook Handbook, you'll see that it is from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. That's a U.S. governmental department. So if I wanted to look at something like animal science, let's say I'm looking at going into the animal science field, and I type in animal science. It's going to look at keywords having to do with animal science and give me the most likely thing. Now you see we've got animal scientist here. We've got agricultural and food scientists, working with animals, veterinarians, zoologists, wildlife biologists, vet assistants, and so forth. At this point, I'm just going to click on this animal scientists. Okay. And it gives you a lot of really good information as of specific dates. So this is for May 2016. And you'll see that it gives you estimates for this occupation, how many people in the United States are employed in this, what the hourly wage is, what the mean annual wage is. You can come down here and see what kinds of industries are hiring in animal sciences as well. Down here we have state information, not all states, but some of the states' information. So really good data in terms of where jobs are, what their wages are, even down to a county level. So a lot of really good information about this specific field. If I come back here and I take a look at this, what I did was click on the agricultural and food scientist. So this was kind of an update as of a specific year, but it wasn't really the full rundown of that particular occupation. If I click on this food scientist one, you'll see it looks a little more laid out a little better. So here we've got all these tabs. You see again the median pay, the intra-level education requirement, typically the work experience, if there is any, on-the-job training, number of jobs here in this field. Now this isn't animal science specifically, this is just ag and food scientists altogether. The job outlook, and you'll see here this is either an increase or a decrease percentage. In this case it's an increase of 7% from the years 2016 to 2016. Employment change, we're looking at an increase of 3,200 jobs in this broader field. Okay. You can go through these tabs and you'll see a lot of really great information. Again, this is a little more broad, so the more specific you can get, the better your information is going to be for you. But here's the duties that they have to do. There's animal scientists, so if you need to figure out what exactly animal scientists might do, you would need to use this. If you want to back up a little bit and just say, okay, food science is what I'm really interested in here. But you can see this includes a really broad variety of sciences in agricultural fields. What kind of work environment should you plan on being in? So research, government, management, food manufacturing, and so forth. Who is employing? What sector of the economy is actually employing these people with this kind of degree or this kind of desire in terms of their career? How do you become one? What are the educations? What kind of skills do you need to have in order to enter into this field? And so again, these are on a per field basis, so they'll be different for different kinds of fields. You'll see a lot of great information about salaries, the job outlook. Again, it just gets deeper into those increases or decreases in numbers and percents and how many jobs that actually ends up being. Similar occupations, you might look at this if it isn't quite, so like in this one it's ag and food sciences, but it's not really, maybe it's not particular to animals, and I want to see if there's something that's a little closer to animal scientists here, or some other fields that are like this but aren't quite what this is. You can look at those. I would encourage you to look at the similar occupations. That'll give you a little bit broader view into what's possible. So we're going to get out of that one. We're going to go back to this page and look at this thing called ONET. And ONET is some similar information. So again, we'll look at let's look at agriculture business. Let's see what happens when we do that. So this one is a little bit cleaner in terms of listing the fields that are available with those search terms. Let's see what happens when we type in agriculture. What kinds of fields are there? So I think it was pretty close to the same here. And so you might look at something like a farm and home management advisor if you're thinking about banking. Farm and ranch managers themselves, like total farm managers. There's mechanics and technicians. There's other ag managers, natural science managers, equipment operators, and so forth. So you can just choose one of these. Let's say a management advisor. Let's do that here. And again, it's a lot like what we saw. The thing that's a little bit different here is there's more in terms of what kind of skills you need and what kind of tasks you typically perform in that field. Also, it's got a pretty good breakdown of the kinds of jobs that will be available in that specific report summary. So for farm and home management advisors. So this one's a little more philosophical, I guess, in terms of defining characteristics of that sort of a job. What kind of knowledge? So, for instance, we click on this knowledge here. What kind of education and training? What about English language proficiency do I need? Do I need a knowledge of biology? What about reading comprehension? How about public speaking? Those sorts of things. What can you expect? Work context. This is really good. This work context here, where they actually surveyed people who are in these fields and asked them how often are you doing email? How often are you doing telephone conversations? How often are you do you have the freedom to make decisions that you want, and so forth? So you can, again, just kind of delve a little bit deeper into what's required in those particular fields. Again, there's credentials and interests and so forth. So just another way to explore your career when you need to create this presentation that shows other students and really gives you a chance to learn what sorts of things you can get into in your specific field. So these are two resources. Again, these are both on Moodle when you click on this career planning info, and these top two resources here. So hopefully those will help you in your assignment.